Hey friends, Happy New Year! Today's video is, basically what the title says. It's just gonna be me laying it out what I've kind of got planned for 2021 and what you can expect to see on my channel and some of my own personal sewing goals, as well as the different avenues that I have going on in my life. So let's get into it. So first off, again, I just want to thank you all for being here and for being a subscriber. If you're not already, make sure you hit that button. It just, it's gotten me to this point and literally could not do this without you. Obviously, creating this channel is totally just about helping people, and I've had some really great comments recently about how my style or the way I present things and talk has really helped people. And that's the whole reason I started this channel, is so that I could bring my own spin on things, and my goal is just to help one person. Obviously, I would love to help more, and I hope that I do help more, but I'm happy if I've helped one person. So if you are a one person, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know that I've helped you. I see you and I appreciate you and I thank you. I'm here for 2021. So let's start with kind of like general sewing / personal sewing. I want to sew more bras, number one, and you guys might have seen my bra video. If not, I'll link it down in the description box below. But I started bra sewing. I've sewn one bra. The reason I haven't sewn more is because I haven't bought new bra wires. I've just been on a spending freeze and have a whole bunch of other things to do as well, so I haven't bought more bra wires, but it is my goal. I have the ruby bra pattern and I plan on perfecting that. It's pretty close. I do like most of the fit of it. I need to adjust the cups a little bit, go up a size and kind of make some other adjustments that I don't love about the pattern. But for the most part, it's pretty good. And I want to perfect it, and then I want to experiment with it. So that's kind of my plan for 2021. I might purchase a new pattern if I get really heavy into it and I find that I've exhausted the ruby bra pattern, but I don't plan on that, I guess, and I'm not really sure which pattern I would go to. There's some really beautiful patterns out there, and yeah, all that. So bra sewing is probably going to be my biggest I guess improvement I'm planning on in 2021, taking me from that first bra I made, and then who knows where I'll end up in December. So I'm really excited for that journey, and I'm excited to show you, and I hope you're excited to see it. Another thing I really want to focus on in 2021 is fabric alterations. So changing a cut of fabric into something a little more exciting and just different and totally unique that nobody else will have. So in 2020, you've seen me stamp on fabric, and you saw me do a little bit of bleach tie-dye that maybe didn't turn out that great. But I want to do more of that kind of thing in 2021. I think you know that I have purchased a natural dye kit for fabric, and I have the white linen ready to go. I just haven't done it yet. So that's going to be coming up actually quite soon, and then there might be more of that depending on how much I love it. I anticipate loving it a lot, so we'll see. I also want to experiment with other things like acid dyes, and I'd also really like to look into resistance dyeing, maybe even making my own dyes, which I don't think would be that difficult. You just save some food scraps or go foraging, which isn't a big deal for me at all. So I'm really looking forward to do more fabric manipulation and stuff like that in 2021. Okay, and then I also want to do more upcycling, and this has been I keep saying this. You guys know I've talked about this once before, that I want to start my upcycled clothing line using thrifted, dead stock, and upcycled clothing. And I just this has been in my brain for a year and a half, and I haven't done it yet. It's really intimidating. I still have old stock. There's all these excuses, right? But that's kind of a goal, is to launch that in 2021 as well. So that also kind of goes hand in hand with upcycling, and I want to share a lot more upcycles on the channel for you guys as well. So if you're interested in that, definitely leave me a comment and let me know so that I know to bring a lot of upcycle content to you guys. I also want to get better at sewing my stash. So I've been kind of on a spending freeze, self-inflicted, because I have way too much fabric, way too much fabric, you guys. As I'm filming this, my husband is finishing up my storage units for my sewing room here, and I had allotted, I think, 2 drawers for, 1 or 2 drawers for fabric, like yardage, and it's not gonna fit. Like I keep looking at it this way, looking at it that way, looking at it upside down. My stash just isn't going to fit, and that sucks. This feeling sucks. I love fabric. I love looking at fabric. I love touching fabric. I love having fabric, but I don't love hoarding, and I don't love having more than I need. So for me, that's like an issue. So I need to get through this so that it does fit into ideally one drawer. Of course, it's complicated because of, you know, sewing for business as well, but I do want to focus on sewing my stash. I don't want to be purchasing a lot of new materials in 2021. I mean, the bra sewing is a little different, at least that's what I'm telling myself. Very minimal fabric shopping in 2021. Let's see if I can do it. Along with all that fabric, I've allotted one drawer for fabric scraps, and I actually want to allot two. I want one to be for like larger pieces, like that you can use for like pockets or something like that, and then the other drawer to be shredded or whatever, used for stuffing. I do plan on making like a Closet Core has like a poof pattern, or it doesn't have to be their pattern, but a poof, or you know, two, and stuffing it. So I have all these bags right now out in the garage of fabric scraps, and the amount that I sew, I mean, you can imagine that I generate a lot of waste, or scrap as you want to call it, and I don't throw that out. I keep it, and I'm going to be using it for, you know, stuffing, or if it can be used for pieces, then obviously for that. So that's kind of a goal. Another goal for 2021 is to sew more scrap busters and to kind of minimize the amount of scrap or remnant waste, whatever, that I have on hand, and use it up faster than I have been, which is very non-existent basically. I also want to get better at sewing my wardrobe needs. I am 29 for life, and I'm only now like starting to kind of take an interest in like fashion, if that's the right word. More so like what's in my closet, what works together. I believe in a more minimalist outlook, which you guys are probably like, girl, you sew a lot. You are not a minimalist. And I know my closet is small by choice, and I like that. I like keeping basics, and you know, of course the odd specialty piece and things like that. And I love sewing up beautiful patterns, but I just want it to be things that I actually wear all the time. And you know, the odd frivolous thing. When I started garment sewing for myself, it was overwhelming, I guess. I couldn't focus, I couldn't concentrate or narrow it down on what I wanted. So I was just sewing all the things, right? And a lot of those things I don't wear or didn't wear and have since been repurposed. So I want to get better at doing that, at picking patterns that are going to work for me, at sewing through the patterns I already have, and altering and finding things that fit my body and work with my style and my body shape and my proportions and all of that, which is kind of difficult when you're working at changing your body as well. But yeah, that's kind of a goal, is to just focus on what my wardrobe needs and what my body needs, and kind of go from there. So don't just be sewing things that I'm not gonna wear or that aren't gonna fit with my lifestyle and my body. I also want to continue to not buy any new clothing. We succeeded in 2020. I'm calling it a success. I had a minor slip once when I was walking through Winners, and I saw a little pack of little boys Gotchis boxers, and I had to buy them for my little man. And I mean, that was the only thing I bought new, other than I did buy my husband some socks for Christmas because he requested a certain type, and that's what he got. But other than that, we have not bought new clothing. I'm all about thrifting, but the goal was to not buy anything new for myself or my children. And other than those boxers, we did succeed. And that's continuing on. I see us doing that for, you know, my whole life, really, for various reasons. So I'm gonna continue with that in 2021, and I encourage you to do the same thing. I also want to learn more techniques. I want to hone these skills that I'm learning, and I don't just want to rush through things. I want to learn the slow way, the right way. Yeah, I want to be an expert one day. So I want to get to that point. I'm definitely not an expert now. I enjoy learning. I really do. My husband and I both highly value learning. Our kids love to learn. It's just something that is just in us. And so this is no different. This is my craft, and I want to learn all there is to learn about it. So finding new skills to learn, you know, this will probably be a lot of couture techniques, hand sewing, different, you know, underlinings and the things like that construction wise. So that's kind of something that I am very interested in. And if you are interested in that as well, I want you to let me know in the comments if you're looking for videos on that, because I would be happy to make videos as a beginner in a lot of those techniques. And along with that kind of goes fabric. I want to learn more about the different types of fabrics. I tend to only sew with natural fibers, or try to. Of course, when you're buying at the thrift store, you don't know, or when you're purchasing some things and you have a lapse of judgment, you don't know. I just feel best in natural fibers. I like sewing with them. I like the look of them, the feel of them, all of that. So I want to learn more about them and also branch into different subcategories of them as well, and you know, and just learn more, so again, that I can become an expert one day and be more well-rounded in the sewing world. Overall, I just want to slow down. I don't want to be sewing, I mean, I do want to be sewing as much as I do, but I don't need to be necessarily pumping out like 15 garments a month or anything like that. I want to slow down, and I want to share more technical stuff on my channel, and I want to spend more time with my vintage machine. I have spent pretty much zero time with her, and like I said, my sewing room is coming together, so I will have space now to display her and to have her out with me and spend more time with Betty, my vintage sewing machine. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. And as for the channel, I mean, pretty much everything I mentioned will be shown to some degree on my channel, but I also did some polls over on Instagram, and there was some shocking results. The biggest shock to me was that you guys don't want to see more than one video a week. You're good with just one video a week. So let's do that. Let's just do one video a week here. And I want to focus more on the technical stuff, like I mentioned. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to try this out where I just post about one video a week. There might be some bonus videos some weeks, but one video a week on YouTube showing a different technique or something that can like teach you. And then on Instagram, I might do once in a while, like maybe 3 or 4 a month or something like that. I do an Instagram TV video, and I'm really not from, like, this is totally out of my comfort zone. So that is my plan for 2021, this first quarter or so. We're gonna try that. And so what's gonna be on Instagram is gonna be more like sewing room clean with me's or sew with me's, where you just like push play and then, you know, it does its thing. Anything where it's more like lifestyle-y or personal and not so much technical. I'll save that for my YouTube channel because I think that would go over a little better just from seeing what you guys voted for on those polls. A lot of you want to see tips and things like that. The exception to that is my global slow fashion awareness project. I will not be taking that off of YouTube. If anything, I will be adding it to Instagram and still posting on YouTube. This is something that's very important to me. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will link it down in the description box, all of my global slow fashion awareness videos. Like I said, it's just very important to me, and I can't compromise on that. They are not the most popular videos on my channel. I realize that, but that's not why I make them. I am making them to raise awareness, and that's the whole point of them. So I will not be taking those off my channel. If you don't like watching them, I mean, I'm sorry, but just don't watch them then. That does, I mean, whoa, that hurts. But yeah, I can't please everyone with everything, right? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with the channel in 2021. And then I kind of mentioned the clothing line already. You might not know this, but I also pre-COVID was running sewing classes, beginner sewing classes in my community, like in person. So obviously those have been put on hold for far too long. It should have been a reason for me to develop more classes for when we can get together again, but I haven't. Honestly, I've used it as an excuse to just not do anything with the sewing classes, and that it breaks my heart because I really want to do those classes. So I'm the only thing in my way of developing more classes, so that is going to be a pretty big focus of mine in 2021 as well. Some of you may know I also do freelance sewing work, so I write blog posts, and I'm a guest YouTuber on New Horizons Designs as well. So I'm doing things like that as well, as like another stream of income. My life is very sewing focused. It's going to continue to be more sewing focused, and that makes me so happy. The reason that things don't get done as fast as I like is because I have 2 young kids. If you don't know, I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they're home with me all the time, and we do a lot together, and we do school at home, and we do things like that. So there's not a lot of time left for my business. We also run a construction business. My husband and I, we have a construction business. So I do all the back end of that as well. So there's just like, there's not as much time as I would love to have for sewing from scratch and for, you know, for my clothing brand that I'm hoping to launch and things like that. I know a lot of you can relate to that. There's just like, there's so many things pulling you in different directions. There's a lot of balls in the air. I want to, a personal goal of mine is to make more time for work and to, you know, maybe that means I only get 6 or 7 hours of sleep a night instead of, you know, 8 or more. I'm really bad for that. So that's just, I don't know why I'm sharing that. I guess just a glimpse into my life too. I'm really excited for 2021. Like, I'm really excited to write all this stuff down, get to it. It's starting off with my sewing room coming together, which is, I've been waiting a long time for these storage units, and then the next step will be the actual counter that we either build or buy. We haven't decided yet. And that's just gonna be a game changer. You guys are gonna see that in every video, and it's just gonna be, it's gonna make a big difference. There's a lot of more steps to do to my sewing room, but that's gonna be the start. And I'm really, really excited about it. And I'm getting carried away here. I'm excited for 2021. I hope you are. I hope 2020 taught you, if anything, that we can handle anything that life throws at us. Just be thankful for the good in every day, and don't take it for granted. I will see you in the next video. It's gonna be a technical one, and I hope you hit that subscribe button because I look forward to it. Have a great year, you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next week. Bye.